Welcome back everybody to another All Things Nerd video. As always, my name is Nathan. Today we're back in the Midnight expansion where we are inside of Magisters Terrace, and we're going to see if we can break out of bounds. Now, I did a couple days ago, I did break out and did some research on this. I was hitting death walls everywhere, so hopefully we can find a way to permanently get out. Now I'm gonna run the dungeon because there's a certain spot I want to get to, and it's pretty far in. It's literally like right before the final boss, which is the, gosh, I don't remember the exact area. There's like a tower, it's called, but it's pretty far in. So I'm gonna run the dungeon and I'm gonna get over there, and then I'm gonna show you guys how I get out of bounds, and then show you some of the death walls that you're gonna be hitting. So bear with me as we go through here, and welcome back, guys. Let's go have some fun. All right, guys, so we made it finally to where we wanted to get to. Whew. This dungeon takes a minute to run through, and we are on top of the Tower of Theory currently, and coming out here, there's like a courtyard area. Now, one of the ways that I've broken out is simply just by literally putting a pillow, and then you're out. And neat thing about this is that you're able to explore all around here without dying. Now, one of the tricky parts that I've found in this dungeon is the moment you go anywhere out of here, like if you go into here, you die. You go into like way over there, you die. I mean, it's just constant death walls everywhere. So one thing I've been able to do is I've been able to get out to a certain point. Now don't worry about any of the enemies or anything around here. They're all just NPCs, where they're just part of the background chaos that's going on in the dungeon, so you don't have to worry about them at all, and you could just simply walk around. Now, one thing that's really cool about coming out here though is you can see all the action and things you don't get to see on the sidelines. So you can see that all these NPCs and like this whole scripted event is set up out here, and you do get like a better view of everything out here. None of this will hurt you because it's not meant to, obviously. And so you can walk all the way out here. I haven't come out here though. Let's see if we can walk out here. I think you can, yeah. So this is awesome. So we can come all the way out here as well. You won't die from what I know of. I might hit a death wall, who knows. But so far, coming all the way out here seems to be okay. And you actually lose the whole midnight scenario thing as well. So you go back to the light version of the map, of the dungeon, I should say. Now, if we were to come out this way, we would die. So far, this is how far I've made it. And feel free to explore all around and to see the different setup of the dungeon. But like, for example, I'll show you how far we can actually go down before we die. So if we were to make our way down here, and we die. So the death walls seem to be really low in the dungeon, from what I've seen so far. And also, all right, we're back. Sorry about that. Now, I died, as you saw, with the death wall, but it seems like Blizzard's getting a little more strict on using follower dungeons to do this stuff, and so that really sucks, because the moment you start to DC a lot and you're outside the map, they will DC you, and then they'll basically kick you out the dungeon. If you do that enough times, it will just reset the dungeon altogether, and that really sucks, and we don't want to have to do that. So far, this is what I found, guys. Hopefully you could play around with getting out of bounds here more than I can, and maybe you'll find a spot where you can beat the death walls and get around them. There are some interesting things on this map, like for instance, you can walk through this pillar, and there is like an outside version of going inside the pillar, and you can go back into certain parts of the map this way. So if you want to go explore back in, like, let's say the library place that you're not supposed to get to anymore, I think you can use the pillars to do that. I haven't tested that theory yet. So what you can see is that let's see here. Oh, here's the library part. Okay, never mind. So the library is just still open for you to explore. Okay, well, that's good to know. I thought that the library might have been closed off and sealed back with the bookcase, but I guess it's not the case. That's where we came from with the boss, so let's actually go head back this way. We need to head back up the tower here. So anyways, guys, that is exactly how far I've gotten in the Magisters Terrace. It's been a little difficult. And the sad part about this is even if I get out, I don't think there's going to be anything that interesting out of bounds, unfortunately, because from what I've seen, it is the whole continent of the Eastern Kingdoms. But a lot of times, you know, you can go see that in other dungeons as well. So I don't know if there's anything that interesting outside of bounds. But for Blizzard to keep you hidden pretty well in terms of putting a lot of death walls, usually that indicates that they don't want you outside for some odd reason. Maybe there is like test models or different cubes and stuff out of bounds. I don't know. I'm gonna have to go explore more. But one thing you can go do that's pretty cool actually. So let's actually go head out this way. And you can get to the beginning of the dungeon where the Hearthstone is. And you can, or the meeting stone, or you know, whatever you want to call it, the group stone. It's right over here. So if you were to go back to the beginning of the dungeon, there should be a spot behind over here, I believe. Let's go run out this way, and there goes the meeting stone right there. And it is you can go like touch it and stuff like that, and you actually won't die coming down here either, so feel free to explore out of here as well. You can see the beginning of the dungeon right there, and then here goes the meeting stone as well. Sorry, meeting stone, I said Hearthstone, it's funny. And if you were to go down the path here, you will die. If you were to go out that way, you will die. So one thing that I'm trying to do is beat the death walls, and so I'm trying to stay above ground high enough. So one thing that I'm thinking about doing is actually using my Seamus potion and getting up high enough to where the death walls don't affect us. But the problem is, like right there, yeah, you just die. So I haven't had a chance to completely avoid the death walls yet. Which sucks because I do want to get to certain things. Like there seems like to be a really cool like light thing going on over here. So there's like different things in the background that I do want to go see, but I just haven't been able to I don't know, I haven't been able to find out yet how to get out of there. So that's really about it, guys. So hopefully you can hopefully I give you some ammo and resources to do some out of bounds and to figure a way out. These type of dungeons aren't easy to do, and we're just going to teleport to the dungeon, and we're just going to keep trying different areas and see if I find something interesting. I will obviously make another video about it, but hopefully you guys have fun with this one. That's where I've gotten so far. It's pretty obvious to get out at first, right? But then it makes it a little more difficult with the death wall. So obviously there's going to be a way out. I just got to find it, and I'm just going to keep trying at it and see if I can find something. So all right, guys, well, I'll see you on the next video. If I find something cool, I'll let you know, and take care.